Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's gonna be a little bit of a vlog day for the E36. I'm driving the E36 to the farm. We're gonna be working on a couple things. There's a couple things on my list that I wanted to work on. I gotta check engine light with the throttle position sensor, I think. So my scan code is at the shop. I wanna scan it, take a look at that. Also, my wiper nozzle sprays are just trash and I cannot even clean my windshield. So I got a couple things to replace those with. Also, my horn's not working, so I want to take a look at that. I want to readjust my seat position, do a couple things, maybe take some brakes off of my parts car and stuff like that. So yeah, we're gonna drive out to the farm. We're gonna make a stop and get some gas, get a Monster Energy drink. Let's get this day started. I always get a Monster Punch. It's just like my fix for monsters. I don't like the normal ones. I only get the Monster Punches. Today the store didn't have them, so I got this Red Bull Yellow. Let's get going. Oh, that was a long drive, but I'm finally at the shop. We're gonna open the door up, bring the E36 in. Before I do that, I just wanted to update you guys on a couple things that's happened to the E36 since the last time I showed you guys. So last time I was showing you, I was working on the fan control switch, and I seem to have got it working before I left, but like a week after it stopped working, and I haven't had any fan control since. The other day I was driving home a little bit late at night and I had no heat blowing in, which kind of sucked. The AC is not a big deal. It hasn't been too warm, but even if then, it's not like the car has AC. So I would have to get the AC recharged in order for it to do anything. So not having the fan hasn't been a huge problem, but it is something that I want to take the panel apart, play around with the little connectors again, see if I can get it working again, because it is pretty finicky. And another thing that happened is my window stopped working. So I was pressing the down button and then boom, it just disconnected. I've had a lot of issues with this driver's door. This is like the third door I've had on the car, but a lot of issues with the window regulator. I got the regulator replaced last year. It was still making a weird noise and I was getting a bunch of chips into the window, like it was hitting something. And then yeah, now you can see it's just out of the frame and everything. And now I've just been kind of manually doing it up and down with my hand. It's been working a bit, but when I push it up all the way, it doesn't, this seal right here has been pushed out of place. So I'm getting this nice wind noise the whole time, but at least I can put the window up and I can put the window down and it kind of stays in place and it's kind of manageable. I've been trying to get my hands on a black door because to replace the window regulator, it cost me like $300 last year to do kind of both sides. But then, well, I guess I only did one side really. It cost me like $300 to do it. And the other year when I went, last year, the passenger one was still faulty, even after I spent like $200 to $300. So I went on Kijiji and somebody had a spare door, an M3 door, and for 80 bucks, I put it in place and it was so easy. Same thing with this one. Like when I originally got this one, I picked it up for 80 bucks when the window regulator wasn't giving me an issue. So I'm just trying to find a black E36 door. But the problem is these E36s are getting so rare in Toronto where they're not rusted out or anything like that. I was able to find one, but it was white. So I'm thinking that if I can never pick one up that's black, when I'm ready to paint it, I'll just pick up whatever one I can find with a working window regulator, and I'll just paint the whole car and it won't be an issue. Other than that, not much has changed with this car. So yeah, I'm gonna go inside. Let's open up the garage door. Let's get it in. Let's start working on some things. Okay, so my priority list for today is wiper blade or wiper nozzle sprays first, get the horn done, and then I'll just kind of plug away at some little things like the fan, and I want to change the seat positioning, get it a little bit inclined. I'm thinking I'm gonna go ask my dad for help. I do have a parts car. I want to take off the whole rear brake system and maybe to install a hydraulic e-brake on this without paying for a really expensive kit. I'm gonna try to do it the cheapest way I can. But yeah, priorities are gonna be this wiper nozzle kit, try and get that horn working because there's been a lot of issues where I want to honk my horn at somebody in traffic and I've had no horn. And when I rev the engine, nobody knows what that means. So we're gonna tackle those two things first and then just entertain myself for the rest of the day. Okay, I have done zero research on how to change these, so I'm just gonna wing it, and I feel like my skills should be able to get me through it. Let me show you guys why I wanna change these so bad. Okay, so check out the spray action that happens going on here. Look at that. That's it. The driver's one doesn't spray it at all. The passenger one doesn't go farther than that, and it only sprays out of one nozzle, not the two nozzles that are there. So I basically, if I get it really dirty, I basically hold this and I wait till this water kind of transfers over to the driver's side. It's really terrible. And these things were like 10 bucks or something on Amazon. So I figured, why not? They were super expensive, even with my dealership discount, because they had to be back ordered from Germany. They're like $50 or something like that. So I just went ahead and got them off Amazon because I'm not really worried about the quality on this one. They're like 10 bucks, like whatevs. Let's pop the hood and see if we can figure this out. I mean, I don't think they're too hard. It's basically just disconnect the hose. Looks like that one has the heater line in there for the winter one. I don't know if these ones do. I don't really care about that. As long as they spray the fluid out, that's all I really care about. My hood struts have been failing lately. I do have some of those on order. Amazon took forever to deliver them, so let's grab a pair of vice grips. And let's make sure this hood doesn't fall on my head. Okay, so that was pretty easy to get out. Just pulled the hose out. It doesn't look like there's any connectors or anything. Pulled the heated connector out. It just came through and they just both pulled through the hood. Now let's install the new one, see if we get a better spray. Yeah, we got both of them in. That was pretty easy. Let's test it out. Moment of truth. Woo! We got lots of spray. Oh man, they're spraying so far, it's going all over the car. So yeah, as you can see, the one nozzle is just going. I'm gonna try and get a little tiny pick in there, see if I can readjust the angle of the spray nozzle. All right, so as you guys can see, the driver's one is spraying pretty good. The passenger one is still going over. I mean, when you buy cheap stuff on Amazon, you can't be surprised it doesn't work properly. Honestly, it doesn't faze me too much. It's better than it was. There's a $10 fix there. Now I can actually spray the wipers. It's not a system that I need to make sure it works perfect. As long as it sprays and I can clean the dirt off my windshield, that's all that matters. If I need the passenger side, I just kind of feather it and do a little bit light. Now that I got that fixed, let's move on to getting this horn operating. Before I get any farther into this video, I do just want to take a second to shout out for the sponsor for this video. It is parkviewbmw.com. We recently launched a new part of our website, shop.parkviewbmw.com. You can get all the lifestyle BMW merchandise, a lot of the stuff that I do for my giveaways. I'm extremely thankful to Parkview, store manager AJ, and my parts manager Jason. You got to thank them. All the giveaways that I do, it's because of them and that they're giving me these items to give away to all of my followers like you guys. So if you want to show some appreciation, if you do want to buy some stuff, guarantee that you get like the jacket or the t-shirt. If you haven't won one of my giveaways yet, head over to shop.parkviewbmw.com. Use Denver BMW for 15% off. And we are shipping out. So anything, you can order it online. You can do an in-store pickup if you live in Toronto. If you're outside of Toronto, you can use our shipping. If you want to buy anything that's genuine BMW, you know, have any friends or family that love BMW, you're not sure what to get them for their birthday coming up, go to shop.parkviewbmw.com and use at the checkout Denver BMW and get 15% off. All right, let's get back into the video. Okay, so let me give you a little bit of background on why my horn isn't working. So when I first started this build, I put in this aftermarket steering wheel, and therefore the horn wasn't gonna work. So the reason is the factory one used a kind of wire system that plugged into the horn and you could pop the horn. There isn't retrofit that you can do. I'll take this off in a second and I'll show you. But basically for the longest time, my horn has been this yellow button that's just down here. It's not the easiest to get to, but as long as the horn works and it's on a button, that's all that is legally required. So that button I used to do the horn for the longest time. And then two summers ago, I was trying to retrofit it so that I could make the Momo logo actually be the horn, so it worked like a normal horn. Something I did basically didn't work, and then I tried to put the horn back to normal and it didn't work again. So I don't know what the issue is. We're gonna test out to see if the horn actually works by giving it some electricity, and then we're gonna check all the wiring on it. I'm gonna see if I can retrofit it into this again, see if I can get that working. But most importantly, I need to make the yellow button work again. So this hub adapter also has a copper plate at the back of it. So right here is a copper plate. and the pre-OBD2, so the OBD1 95s and before, had this adapter that pushes against the copper plate, and then the ground signal will go back through the steering column. I couldn't get it to work last year, so I just kind of left it there. I tried to rewire it into here, didn't quite work. Now we got to figure out why it didn't work and problem solve and make the horn work again, because that is very important to have it driving on the road. So the first thing I want to do is just give this some direct power and test just to make sure that the horn still actually works. Okay, so I have plugged in this little connector to a ground, plugged into a ground. Let's get another wire and we'll just jump it. We'll just jump it over to the positive. All right, so I got this extra long cable. I plugged it in and let's test to see if the horn works. That is a positive. The horn works. Okay, so I know the horn works. It's not a horn issue, it's a wiring issue. Let's figure it out. Okay, so this is the wiring for the horn. So it came off of here. Normally this would be the wiring for the horn. I turned it into this connector so that I could have a quick plug out for this. I put a little wire in here and I want to test to see if this is gonna work. Okay, so this connector works. So then why is it that when I plug it into here, that this switch doesn't work? So I plug the connector back in and I still get nothing. So that tells me that from here to this connector, something's going wrong. I need to see in between here and there. Okay, so I took the cover off and I pulled it out and I found my issues. So it looks like right there, that's why my horn doesn't work. So this quick connector is dead. I'm gonna have to chop it up and replace it with something better. I'm gonna use this connector so I can add some extra length to this. Let's work on the other side, get it prepped and ready to bring over to the car. Okay, so I'm nearly ready. I've got this switch that I can put back in place. I've got this and I'm ready to connect them to the wires here. I'm thinking though, because I want to get the horn working on the Momo dash, I'm gonna plug in the positive to go up here and go to the switch so that I can do both. That's the plan. Okay, I got this one extended. Now the plan is to put them together like so, and then put them into this one same slot. I thought I had it, then I realized blue is ground and black is power. And I just put grounds in there. That's no good. Okay, I redid it all, and now I have power, and I have power now splitting, and now I can have both the button, which will be my default, and I can try to get the horn working, but if I can't get it, you know, I still have the button horn working, so. Okay, I got all this wiring done. Let's test it out. Bow! The sound of joy, success. I have my horn back. Now let's see if I can figure out the Momo one. Okay, got the steering wheel off. Now let's try to figure out the ground. Okay, so this one comes through and it's power, so that's pretty simple. I just need to see if I can ground it on something. So like this should be power, and as soon as this touches ground, it should honk the horn. But nothing I touch it to is grounding it out. Okay, so I bolted this wire down there to ground to make sure we can test it. And let's see if the horn works. Now I know this is for sure getting power. It's just a matter of where do I ground it in here. Okay, so I took the center bolt off. And I'm trying to ground this, and literally it won't ground to anything in here. So I don't know how you're supposed to make the horn work with this. Okay, so I have no idea where the power source is coming from. So I got my dad to come pick me up. We're gonna go up to my parts car. He actually just took the steering wheel off recently, so it should make it easy. We're gonna go check it out. And here's my parts car. Let's dive in and take a look.
On there, you usually got to hit him with a hammer to vibrate a bit.
Look at this, it's got the part on there. It's got the part. I could have got it for free instead of buying it. So I'm trying to figure out where the power comes from. I still can't find out. I'm gonna get my dad in the tractor. He's gonna pick up the car. We're gonna bring it over to the shop where there's tools, because I also actually wanna grind off the rear brake calipers, because I'm gonna try and do the cheapest hydro e-brake setup that you can do. I've seen a lot of them where you buy a kit to weld on a bracket to for a dual caliper setup, or you buy a bunch of stuff. I don't want to do that, so I'm actually going to grind the stock ones off and then see if I can weld them onto my other ones for free. And then the only thing I need to pay for is the lines and the handle. I can get the calipers and the bracket for free. You just gotta jimmy rig it. See how cheap of an e-brake setup we can do. She's a dirty girl. Yeah, I just want to grind the whole thing off. It's like a decent muffler. All right, halfway through. I got a caliper off, strut removed, lines cut through. Gotta grind these babies. This is what I need. That's what I need right there. Success! We have both of them grinded right off. And that's gonna be my ticket to a cheap hydro e-brake install. All right, I got both sides done. I got what I needed from the car. I also took off the muffler. Looks like we got a GT speed muffler, something everybody wants to buy that. It's going up on Kijiji. And yeah, I got what I needed there. I could be able to weld those on. I got the calipers. I'm gonna take off the brackets. These calipers are junk. It's so rusted and stuff. Even the bleeder screws are just rusted out on them. This one's still in place, but I'll use the brackets and I'll just pick up some new calipers. Maybe use these as a core refund on some calipers or something like that. Looks like I will have to buy calipers, but hopefully I can get a cheap pair off Kijiji or something. Okay, now that I got this car on the ground, time to confirm. Okay, so I pulled this out. I followed the wire. There's the small connector at the back, and then boom, connector. We got red and brown. So this is power. So power is meant to flow through here. How the frig do I ground it? Now it's still the same question. How do I ground it? Then I figured while I'm in here, why not take the gauge cluster out, pop it up on Kijiji, maybe somebody wants to buy it. And then I took this cable out too, maybe somebody wants to buy it. Okay, I did discover this ground wire right here, pure brown, little screw that goes in. This probably mounts with the bracket. I'm thinking it's because I retrofitted the copper positive wire that this was not meant to be there, and I just need to retrofit this in place. So we're gonna take this out and take the screw and take the wire on over. Okay, so I just got down. Let's see what I have here. It looks like there is a hole right here for that wire to go into. So let's plug in that wire, grounding it out, and seeing if we can get the horn working now. Okay, we got a success. Okay, so what I did is I connected this one, put a bolt, there's a hole on this side. I used one of these guys. I popped that through, threaded that in, grounded this wire over here, and then just testing it, I put a positive. We got the horn. So looks, this ring right here is grounding. Okay, one thing that I don't understand is it seems that this outer ring is the ground. Like, it's not this, it's not the spindle, it's not the bolt, it's that. But then tell me, why is it when I install this thing that the only thing that looks like it's going to touch that ring is this, and this doesn't actually touch it. It never actually touches it. And on a stock car, this piece is plastic. This is for the wiper signal, so that your wiper goes back to normal position when you click past it with the steering wheel. So can anybody tell me why? Apparently it's the ground, but it's not actually the ground, but I think it is the ground. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I got the steering wheel all put back together, and the horn, like, doesn't work then, but if I turn the steering wheel, it works. Dead center, doesn't work. Steering wheel's turned, it works. I could not for the life of me figure out the wiring connections. I couldn't figure out everything like that. It worked majority of the time. If it doesn't work, I have the yellow button. So thankfully I have a yellow button hooked up. I have that. It is what it is. The best I can do. It's not like I'm too worried about it. That's gonna have to do it for now. It's semi-accomplished. I don't understand where it's shorting out, to be honest with you, because it's the part that I thought is just the turn signal part. It's not touching. Everywhere else I grounded out, it doesn't make a difference. I'm very confused on this, but I'm just gonna leave it and move on. Now, like I said earlier, another issue I was having was the fan wasn't working. I got underneath here. I just touched it, moved it slightly, and then the fan works. So I think like when I hit a bump, something connection goes loose up there and I get no fan. And I ain't stressing over it. It ain't worth it. It kind of works, kind of doesn't. Oh well. Don't really need it in the summertime. Don't really need it for this car. Okay, so I got everything cleaned back up. Got the cover back on. One thing I want to do is check engine light, clear the code, see what it is. I bought this kit quite a while ago. Apparently it only works for my E36, but it works good and I love it. Wait for it to read. Want to diagnose. 3 Series, E36, driver, DME. Throttle valve, function, tank venting, mixture deviation. So, I mean, that makes sense. So throttle positioning sensor is what has been giving me a lot of problems. Faulty tank venting valve. You can literally hear it clicking. So I can see how that's an issue. And then mixture deviation 1 and 2. So I should probably get this checked out and try and fix it. Now there is something that I bought that I won't have time to install today. I wanted to unbox it and check it out. This is a direct shifter from Chanworks. So thank you, Ryan, over at Chanworks. I'm pretty excited to install this. Stay tuned for a future video. Maybe next Thursday, I'll get around to installing this. Yeah, we got a direct shifter for the car. Linkage, nice red shift knob, shifter, and we got some stickers. So check them out. Check out Chanworks Motorsports. Put a link in the description. Oh yeah, I also had these stickers laying around that if I could probably throw in the back window, I'll go fit. I got above E36 M3 build. Looking good. One other thing I did today is I tightened up the e-brake handle. I was getting too much play in it. I had to crank it up in order to hold it. So tighten down the threads behind the boot. I just kind of tightened them up a bit, shorten up the throw on the e-brake. And yeah, but now I have the calipers for the hydraulic e-brake. I think I'll put it on the passenger side or something. Get my friend Marcus, he'll help me weld in that second caliper, which will be pretty sick for this car. All right, so that's everything I have for my car today. So I was able to fix my wipers. I spent most of the day working on my horn, trying to get my horn figured out. After my horn, I adjusted my e-brake. I put the stickers on the window. That's pretty much it for my E36 today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe for more BMW content. I'll be doing more E36 in the future, like that short shifter is probably gonna be the next video. And then I'm also gonna be working on that hydraulic e-brake install. So if you guys wanna check that stuff out, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more content. Also, you can see Marcus's blue Subaru there. If you stick around to the channel, I promise you one day we're gonna turn this into either a inline 6 turbo Beamer engine swap drift car or like an LS engine. But either way, in the future when I can afford it, I'm turning that thing into a pro spec drift car or an amateur spec drift car, something like that. Once again, thank you guys so much. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, visit shop.parkviewbmw.com, use Denver BMW, get 15% off. All right, I'll see you guys next time.